Imagine if Ukraine had joined NATO before the Russia-Ukraine war. Where would the world be today? Would Russia still have invaded Ukraine? Or would the global balance of power have shifted entirely? Today, we will explore the possible outcomes and historical impacts of this alternate scenario. Ukraine is a crucial country, strategically located between Europe and Russia. After gaining independence in 1991, Ukraine often tried to move closer to the West, but Russian pressure frequently held it back. NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance including the United States and European countries, which guarantees collective defense if any member is attacked. Now imagine Ukraine's NATO membership had been approved in time. The immediate effects would have been dramatic. Russia would have found it almost impossible to launch a direct attack. Under NATO's Article 5, an attack on one member is considered an attack on all members, prompting immediate intervention. Russia might have tried economic or political pressure, but starting a war would have been far riskier. Ukraine's borders would have been secure, and internal stability would likely have improved, reducing pressure from separatist movements in the east. European defence forces would have strengthened in Eastern Europe, deploying advanced military technology to deter any Russian aggression. In the long term, Russia's influence in global politics would have weakened. Its power in Europe would have diminished, limiting its foreign policy options. Economic sanctions might have been less severe, but Russia would remain more cautious and contained in its actions. Ukraine's economy could have flourished with Western investment, infrastructure projects, and technological development, potentially turning it into a regional economic hub. Other countries in conflicts like Iran, Syria, or separatist movements supported by Russia would have seen limited Russian involvement. This would have increased the influence of the United States and European Union in maintaining global power balance. Speculatively, separatist movements in eastern Ukraine might have been suppressed under NATO pressure. The risk of Crimea being occupied would have been greatly reduced. Russia-Ukraine relations might have been less tense, with diplomacy and economic collaboration taking priority over military confrontation. Europe's post-Cold War balance of power would have remained stronger, but the threat of conflict would have been significantly lower. NATO's presence in Ukraine would have reshaped Eastern European security, encouraging stronger regional cooperation and potentially preventing a major humanitarian crisis. In this alternate history, the world would look very different today. Ukraine might be a thriving democracy and economic hub, Russia more restrained in its global ambitions, and Europe more united against potential threats. While history followed a different path, imagining such possibilities reminds us how single geopolitical decisions can change the course of nations and affect the lives of millions. The question remains, how much difference could NATO membership have really made for Ukraine? That is the mystery we explore in Alternate History. If you want, I can also make a slightly longer, more dramatic version, optimized for an 8 to 10 minute YouTube voiceover, including engaging questions and narrative hooks to maximize viewer retention. Do you want me to do that next?